Thanks for joining me for my first Home Dwelling Dad podcast. Now, yes, I'm on location here in my daughter's bedroom. And can you tell by the unicorn? And this thing right here creeps me out a little bit, but she wanted one of those probably about a year ago to practice hairstyles on and everything. You see, my daughter is 10 years old, and my son is 11 years old, and then my littlest son is 3 years old. And maybe we're watching this thinking, what qualifications does this guy have to do something about home dwelling dads or stay-at-home dads? Let me explain. Forbes magazine pointed out a couple of years ago that there's no solid statistic numbers within the census here in the United States of how many stay-at-home dads there are. Now, I'll be honest with you, I see a lot of memes, I see a lot of news articles and self-help things on stay-at-home moms, but dads are pretty much neglected in this area. And there was one Pew research done in 2013 that estimated about 2,000 stay-at-home dads. So what would qualify me, a pastor, to talk about such a thing? I'll explain. My office here for the last 14 or 15 years that I've lived in this city in central Wisconsin has been in my home. Now, we haven't had kids that whole time. The fact is, my wife and I, we got married in 2002. And we went 6 years without any kids in our house. And quite honestly, we were told by the doctors a couple years after that, physically we just couldn't have our own kids. And we were devastated. Now, back up a couple years, in 2009, we adopted our first son. We knew the mom, and he ended up coming to live with us at 9 months old on 2 weeks' notice. Can you imagine that? After 6 years of not having kids, now we have one living with us, only 2 weeks notice. And this was the room that we originally put him in. It was all full of Charlie Brown stuff and everything. But the deal was, if we take him, we have to take his sister. And his sister wasn't born yet. And so she was born 4 months later. And we got her right from the hospital. Its very own biological sister, same mom. And so that is our story. Now, we went from a family of 2 to 4 in 4 months. And my wife is a NICU nurse, a neonatal intensive care unit nurse. And I am a pastor with my office at home. This afforded us a lot of luxuries. This afforded my wife to keep working. I keep working. My job, I can move my schedule around. So now I'm watching 2 kids, my own kids. I'm being a dad to them every day, and they don't have to go to daycare. Now, fast forward to 2016. Remember that whole talk about not having your own kids biologically? We had our own biological child. You hear this all the time with people that adopt. And so now I have a 3-year-old that's running around, and he may join me on any one of these podcasts. I can't keep him out. So you just might meet little Noah. But this is where I'm coming from. So I've been a stay-at-home dad with a twist. I've been a stay-at-home dad for the last now 11 years. And we've really never had to put them in daycare. Now, I will admit, the first few years that I had them, we ended up getting a babysitter. And the reason for that babysitter was to help me cope with this new adjustment in life, because I was a new dad. I had 2 kids, and I just needed 1 or 2 days a week just to gather my marbles a bit. And that's important. But so now we're at the point where we simply don't have to have those sitters, and I am helping them out. They're in school now. The 2 oldest are in school. The other one is going to be starting 3K next school year. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I want to share some insights with you dads and moms. If you're a stay-at-home, you can help. You can certainly join in the conversation and maybe learn a few things. And I hope to learn a few things from you as well. I will admit that I'm going to do my best to get one out every week, but if I don't, you can certainly read my blog. It's homedwellingdad.com, and I'd love to hear some insight from you on this matter. And it's going to be a fun journey. I hope you enjoy it. Have a great day.
Play, baby, come on and play with me. I bring a dolly tree, climb up my apple tree, put down my rainbow, slide down my cellar, and make me jolly friend.